Hello, everyone. This is Caleb, and today we're going to talk a little bit Marvel stuff. So, we're going to rewind a bit to 2009 when Disney bought Marvel for $4 billion and kind of see where we went from there. So, Iron Man comes out in 2008, and following that, we get a bunch of Marvel movies, and eventually we create the MCU. Eventually, Disney creates the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we get the Infinity Saga. And that was great. It was so cool. But then they have a problem. And it's been 11 years. They've got these actors and actresses that everyone likes. And suddenly they no longer have these characters locked up in contracts. And so they spend about 4 years after that doing phase four. And they miss everything. Nothing lands. Actually, I'll take that back. The only thing that landed was the Spider-Man movie. It did very well. And as fans, and as a fan, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good job of kind of a palate cleanser almost, kind of showing us that we were moving away from what we had to a new story type thing, especially with Spider-Man. But then we got everything else. And bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb. Like, holy crap, it was bad. So now we're sitting here and we've got the Secret Invasion storyline coming up. And the worst part about all of this, the absolute worst part, is phase four was actually already done. So if you don't know, Disney released a TV show about the Avengers in 2010, a year after they bought it, called The Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And the show, for the most part, it begins with a bunch of introductory episodes of the different members of the Avengers. And then it has a couple of story arcs. One of them is a Infinity Stones arc that is very different from the Infinity Stones that we had in the Infinity Saga. The other is a Secret Invasion saga that for me was so well done and so great that if they had literally just done a shot for shot remake in movie form, I'd have been all for it. I'd be sitting in line waiting for my tickets, whatever. I would love it. But no, they've chosen to. Honestly, I'm not sure. I'd love to make some smart quib about what they've chosen to do, but it's not good. It's bad. We don't even know anything about the storyline with Thunderbolt Ross yet, the Red Hulk, and I can already tell you it's going to be bad. And I knew this was going to be a problem when Captain Marvel came out. And they treated the Skrulls, who are the bad guys. So let me get to this real quick. I have not read every rendition of the Skrull and Kree Civil War. Or, well, war. It's not a civil war, it's a war. I haven't read every comic book that Marvel has put out. I've read a couple of them. I was very big into X-Men when I was a kid. I read a lot of those. I've read some Captain America, other stuff. But in any non comic rendition of the Skrulls and the Kree, the Skrulls have never even remotely been close to being the good guys. I would argue the Kree have been slightly closer to the point that the Fantastic Four have actually helped the Kree. But that's it. As far as I remember, they've never helped the Skrulls. No one has ever helped the Skrulls. The Skrulls have always been bad. And so when Captain Marvel came out and the Skrulls were actually good guys, they were refugees running from a war that that none of them wanted any part of. I knew it was going to be terrible. And what kills me is if they had just done the version that they put out in this TV show that honestly not a lot of people have watched. It has high ratings. The people that have watched it usually have enjoyed it. But it's just like, guys, y'all have the storyline already done. Everything was set. Just film this in live action and you got it. And you can go from it to Doctor Doom being the main bad guy. And that brings in the Fantastic Four and all this stuff that would continue the story. But no, they wanted to use Phase 4 to completely diversify the Avengers, remove all the white males, and it's insane. It's a lack of understanding of what your fans want. And actually, I would actually disagree with that. I know I just said it, but I would actually say it's a disregard to what your fans want. They know what we want, but they don't care. They want to tell the stories that they want to tell. And honestly, it's kind of disgusting. It's annoying to sit there and watch this crap after crap. I went to law school. I passed the bar exam. I am a licensed attorney. And I watched She Hulk. And it is the worst display of lawyerism and courtroom procedural I have ever seen in my life. Suits, a USA TV show that stopped being about the law in season 2 of its 9 seasons, does a better job of explaining lawyer procedure than that crap. And it disgusts me. It's almost as if what they actually had on set as a consultant, because you know these TV shows, Law and Order has legal consultants. They have lawyers and they have cops on set to make sure it looks as real as possible. It's as if what they had on set was someone that thought about attending law school one day and has watched Law and Order episodes. That's how terrible that show was. Now, if we rewind a bit and go back to the TV show, The Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I would actually recommend watching it. It's a very good TV show. It's animated, it's done very well, and it tells really good stories. In fact, it does a very good job of telling the Secret Invasion storyline. There are several storylines it tells. It tells the Infinity Stone saga in a much different way. It tells the Kree and Skrull conflict. Hell, it even does Galactus. We see the new Avengers. We see Gamma World, like I'd love to see on live action. It even does the Ultron storyline. Honestly, it's really what the cinematic universe should have become. This was the blueprint, and they had the blueprint in 2010. The final episode aired November 11th, 2012. They've had this blueprint for 11 years now, and they've just ignored it. The show on a whole has an 8.3 rating. In comparison, Ms. Marvel has a 6.3 rating. She-Hulk has a 5.3. Quantumania, 6.1. Wakanda Forever, 6.7. They keep putting out subpar content, and they keep using their hold on the industry to change how these companies rate their stuff so that they can seem better and better when they've got a working blueprint and a TV show they made 11 years ago, and they could just do that. But they won't because it's not woke enough. It doesn't have enough women. It doesn't have enough non-white characters. And what's more disgusting is that Disney feels like they have to create storylines and change characters so that they can use these actors or actresses. And what's even worse is Disney doesn't feel like they even need to change anything. They just decide we'll just change the actor or the actress. And then they call up Erin Kellyman and they tell her, we have another role for you. We need you to replace a white character. Because that's all they use her to do. As if I was her, I'd be pissed because they're constantly using her to change characters, to race swap characters in a way that honestly is disgusting. They want to check all these boxes and they want to say, hey, we did this first, or we had the first this and the first that. And it's like, you know what? No, you didn't. No one cares. We see what you're doing and we don't care. They don't care. And we know they don't care. We know we don't care because you're losing money. You're broke. You don't have the cash to buy back 14% of Hulu from NBC. And we know you don't have the cash because Elemental just lost a assload of money. Indiana Jones is on track to open as one of the worst Hollywood blockbuster openings in memory. And what's more annoying is it wouldn't be a hard fix. There's so many movies that we all grew up watching that are Disney movies and we love them. Hell, we didn't have a problem with Disney Marvel until 2020. There were little things here and there that people didn't like. There were little comic changes that were kind of like, why'd you do that? But overall, we didn't care about it. So just go back to that. You already have the blueprint. You already know what works. Go back and fix it. Come on, guys. Apologies for the rant, everyone. If you get this far, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on Twitter at KingsAdvisors_.